Peter from BehindTheAudio.com, and I'm sitting here with Johnny Klimek.
Hi.
And Johnny is the composer behind Cloud Atlas, Sense8, The Perfume, Run Loader Run, and many other great movies.
One of the composers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So right now Johnny is working, or has finished working on Babylon Berlin, again with Tom Tykwer.
Yeah.
And so let's speak a bit about Babylon Berlin. 1929, when it takes place, was a really crazy time in the world, and there was a lot going on in Germany in particular. So I wondered how you captured that in the music, that Berlin was also called the Chicago at the River Spree, and if that kind of had an impact on the score, or was that more on the synced songs?
It's, I think, more on the sync songs, but it definitely did influence the score in a very subtle way. And Tom definitely did not want a traditional 1929 sounding score. So we took all that in mind, like example using detuned pianos, that honky-tonk sort of. So there's a gritty, lo-fi feel about a lot of the score. And sometimes we have the big string moments and stuff. But in general, and then the source cues were really doing most of that time period. There were a couple of source cues written by Nico Weidemann, who captured that era. But we pretty much went as contemporary as possible in this case.
Okay.
And it works. It just works really well.
All right, and in the past you worked many times with...
And Brian Ferry wrote a bunch of cues as well.
Oh, okay.
Because Brian Ferry's doing a new solo record where he's doing it from that period completely, and he's got all the recording equipment from that time period. So he did, I think, 13 pieces because he was so inspired by meeting Tom and the whole concept. So he wrote a whole bunch of cues. So he took more of that, and we stayed on the contemporary score approach.
And was that more of a coincidence, or how did that come about that he did so many pieces for the film?
I don't know where that connection came from, because I think Tom saw a documentary on how Brian was doing this stuff, and then somehow, and then our record label, BMG, who signing the soundtrack, I have signed Brian, so all different people came together, and eventually Brian got involved. So, and again, we didn't have the budget to say, Brian, will you write 13? It was just, he was so inspired that he wrote 13 pieces, and he's doing his own record, but he said you can use whatever you want, and it's for this project.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Useful. Thanks, Brian.
And yeah, in the past you've been working with Tom Tykwer all the time, and Reinhard Hein as well.
Yeah.
So it was always a collaborative process on all the scores until 2011, pretty much. Right?
Yeah, the last project I did with Reinhold was Cloud Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I wondered how the collaboration now between Tom and you was on Babylon Berlin. How you divide the work?
Pretty much, well, because we've been working together over 20 years, we have a system, and I think Tom loves having his team around for that reason, that you don't have to relearn personalities and characters, and all the ego stuff has been sorted. So the way we do it these days, because he's so busy shooting and stuff, we'll come together for 1 week or 10 days, and I'll go to Berlin. We've got a little setup in his office, and we just write themes, melody, ideas, and then he goes off shooting. I take all this and I go record people, piano players, different musicians, absolute ensemble, and we do all these different recordings, and then I put it all together in a huge collage. Example, one piece might be 15 minutes long, but it'll take the journey of suspense into love theme into action, and then I'll throw that back at Tom. We'll sit together again and do some more arrangements, and pretty much that's it. And I was pretty surprised because we did that. He went off shooting while all this was happening, and then I delivered loads of material in stems, so he can, example, take the strings out of one piece and put it on top of the bass or soundscape of another piece. So it's like a jigsaw puzzle. And yes, we only had to write about 2 new cues, but everything was written pre-shooting or while he was shooting. And that's how we work these days. Same with Cloud Atlas.
And Tom then also shows the tracks already to the actors.
Just have a bit more vodka.
Sure. He also uses the score on set, or
some of them, but I wasn't involved in those source cues. So certain cues had to be written for on set. Yeah, I think Brian Ferry did one, and I think he's even in it.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes, when the process, I have that one period with Tom where we can actually talk and communicate and, oh, how are you and stuff, and then it's explosion. He's off and I don't know what happens anymore. I'm just in the other laboratory sort of bubbling up music and ideas, and then eventually we meet at a premiere. So, well, I had one guy sitting in Berlin full-time with Tom, so like a music editor, composer guy, and because we had Sense8 running at the same time, so 16 episodes for Babylon, 12 episodes for Sense8, and I was running the ship from Los Angeles, had one guy sitting in Chicago, and it was sort of a bit too much at that period. So usually I prefer to go sit in Berlin once once we start working to picture. But in this case, I wasn't there that much. I spent a couple of weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks in total. But it functioned, and it's a relationship of trust and working together for 20 years, and he's good with music too. He comes up with fantastic themes, and one of those annoying, really talented guys.
And speaking about time has been a very important topic in Run Lola Run, Cloud Atlas, Sense8 as well, and nonlinear storytelling. So I wondered if there's anything of that in Babylon Berlin as well, or if not, how everything that's going on in 1929 is captured in the music in general, because of the rise of the Nazis afterwards, and the end of democracy in a way, and also the economic crisis. And
if it's captured in the music, you mean my music caused an economic crisis? What are you trying to say? I'm not really sure. The thing with when I work with Tom, he has the vision. I'm just the supporter there, and I support the vision. So it's still a ton of work, but I sit back and relax a bit more because he takes the show on. So I wasn't too involved in that side. It was the 3 directors actually. I really just, in this case, wrote all these pieces, spent 4 months producing all this music. Here, Tom. And then I went and dealt with Sense8. And I jumped back and forth to Berlin in between here and there, and did a few cues in LA where I need this. Like I said, we needed probably 2 or 3 new pieces that we didn't capture in the pre-writing. So I got a bit involved in that, but otherwise I was Sense8ing.
Hi, I'm Peter from BehindTheAudio.com. Thanks for watching. For more audio news, subscribe to our channel and check out our website.